Welcome to Central Happenings Network. I'm your host, Bellagio Sampler, and we have breaking news. Donald Trump was just live answering questions. We're going to listen to the questions. I'm going to break down the timeline we are in right now. I am going to tell you the shill tactics, what the shills are doing. They are at their wits' end. Donald Trump's not leaving the White House. It's not over. He just said it out of the horse's mouth. The media will freak out over this. Get ready. Here we go. Welcome to the show, people. Let us get the window up. Live now. He was.
Mr. President, do you have any big plans for your last Thanksgiving at the White House?
Well, we don't know what is last. If you look at what's going on, you have to really take a look at what's going on.
So this was Thanksgiving Day.
Discrepancies in the votes.
So
nobody believes those.
Let me correct. This was not live today. This was on Thanksgiving Day. And as we were enjoying turkey, the news didn't cover this yesterday. This wasn't breaking news that everybody saw. So let's take a look and I'll break it down.
Those numbers are incorrect numbers. A lot of numbers have already been reported. You're going to see things happening over the next week or two that are going to be shocking to people. If you look at the numbers in Michigan, if you look at the numbers in Pennsylvania, if you look at fraudulent voting and fraudulent votes. So I can't say what's first and what's last in terms of is this the last one or is this the first one of a second term? We'll see what happens. Nobody wants to see the kind of fraud that this election has really come to represent. We are looking at things that are so bad in Georgia.
So let me give you the first breakdown. This is going to be the straw that breaks the normies' back. We can't even show normies anything of substance. We can't show them the Dominion programming catalogs. We can't show them the satanic ritual abuse. We can barely get them to comprehend that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. We can barely get them to comprehend the blackmail rings. So for all you anons out there, you accelerationists, and some of you I think are actual bedposters, it's 0% chance outside of your minds that they would just come out tomorrow and start arresting Hillary Clinton with the current media in control, with the current states of power in control. But what can they do? They can expose the biggest voter fraud in the history of mankind to the average person. Tell the average person living in idiocracy right now. That's what we live in. We live in the movie Idiocracy. So the average person can become fully aware of what is happening. Let's continue.
They don't want to show us signatures. The reason they don't want to show us signatures is very simple, because we will find thousands and thousands. It's a very close race. It's hair thin. But we'll find thousands and thousands of discrepancies, fraud. Why they aren't wanting to show those signatures is amazing. They're doing recounts, and even in the recount, they found thousands of votes that were off. But now we want to look at the signatures, and you will find tens of thousands of false ballots, forged ballots. You'll see it all over. You're going to see a lot of it. And you go to Pennsylvania. You saw the meeting we had yesterday with Pennsylvania. You saw people come up, they went to vote, and they said, no, you can't vote. Somebody else already sent in a ballot.
This is also a multi-pronged attack. I think I have another. I knew what I did. We fixed it. I have the window up. This is a multi-pronged attack. So right now the shills are in full gather evidence mode. We'll pull this up real quick. Let me read you this because this will tie into everything, and I'll read it again later. The Biden legal team has now caught on to the Trump legal team's strategy of closely guarding legal evidence until it is submitted, so as to minimize the ability of the defense to formulate legal counter-arguments ahead of time. It is extremely important to understand this. The shills have received new directions to come onto 4chan to ask for evidence of election fraud. Oh, Bellagio, you mean that's why you kicked out a bunch of people from your Discord? That's why? Their plan is to play dumb and keep asking for more evidence. Oh, we had one of those guys in our Discord. Play dumb, play demoralized, and keep asking for sources and evidence, so as to harvest as much of the plaintiff's evidence as possible and then hand it over to their legal defense team. It is absolutely critical that you do not provide them any evidence that they want. Point the shills to court documents that are already public, or better yet, to disinfo to make their jobs harder. But absolutely do not give the shills the primary source of evidence that they want. Please also discourage other posters from providing shills the primary evidence. Denying the shills, and by extension the defense's ability to form counter arguments, is extremely important to winning this legal battle. You have to understand the media, the news, Hollywood, music, it's all against this president. It's all against this movement. It's all against this, what they call now the cult of Trump. You know, the shills love using that word. They have their meetings where they wear skirts and socks and read in libraries and play dress up all day, you know, but we're the cult. We're the cult that likes Trump, right? So let's get back to the live. Remember, though,
and a woman, but this
don't
is
give the shills
happening tens
anything.
of thousands of times. I think it was 600 and some odd thousand, 687,000 fraudulent votes cast in Pennsylvania. And I will tell you, if you look at the State House now, the Republican State House, they're starting to see what's going on there. But they've really known it for a long time. Then you go to Michigan, and you look at what happened in Wayne County and Detroit. I went through a list. I went almost every county, and you see it, almost every, by 78%, 72%, 68%, going through the list. Then you get to Wayne, and something happened. Tremendous numbers. You saw the canvassers. They refused to sign their document because they said, we can't sign a fraudulent document. Horrible things went on. That's in Wayne County, Detroit. But you look at the votes that were just tabulated, and they were left today. Look at all the counties. I won almost all of them, except Detroit was so egregious. It was phony. Look at what's going on in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, they're finding tremendous discrepancy. You just take a look at that. Tremendous discrepancy. And elsewhere. So we're going to see what happens. But you can't have somebody assume office and already they want to get rid of America first. I mean, they want to get rid of America first. They don't want America first. You know why? Because China doesn't want it. China expressed their wish, please get rid of America first. And the Biden administration said, oh, that's okay, we'll get rid of America first. No, we don't want to get rid of America first. We want to put America first. And other countries should put themselves first, too, and I tell them that all the time. But we don't want to get rid of it. So I don't know what is going to happen. I know one thing, Joe Biden did not get 80 million votes. And I got 74 million, but there were many ballots.
There's some red pills coming out. Pay attention.
Thrown away, so I got much.
And the media is going to freak.
More than that, but I got 74 million. 74 million is 11 million more than I got last time. It's millions more than Ronald Reagan got when he won all. He won 49 states, I guess. He won 49 states, yes. And it's millions more than Hillary Clinton got. Joe Biden did not get, and by the way, Joe Biden did not beat Barack Obama with the black vote. Didn't beat him, okay? But they have him as beating him. And if you look at the numbers are false. The numbers are corrupt.
So when the shills reveal themselves, they come on the 4chan, we report on it the last couple of days, and they're freaking out. They're mad at their own party. They're mad at the Democrats. They're mad at the blatant fraud. They're mad that, and with their own words, derogatory statements, that these people went out and went haywire and they did too much fraud, too much stealing, too out in the open. This is what happens when you have this failed coup. Too many chefs in the kitchen, too many people spoiling the soup. And the fraud now is completely out in the open. The media is going to be completely dissolved over this. The fact that they promoted Biden as winning. Trump's second term is truly going to be a media crystal knocked.
It was a rigged election, 100%, and people know it. That's why you have people marching all over the United States right now. They know it was a rigged election. And look at what's happening in Georgia. A lot of things are being found in Georgia, and they are absolutely against showing. I mean, it's a sad thing. They don't want to show signatures. It can be solved if you show signatures, but you're going to find out the people that signed aren't the people that are supposed to be signing. You're going to find that the people that signed those envelopes, they didn't do the ballots, envelopes. And then somebody said maybe the envelopes were thrown out. There's tremendous fraud here. If you look at, wait just one second, if you look at 10 o'clock in the evening, you saw what happened. Then you had these massive dumps. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. You have Dominion, which is very, very suspect to start off with.
See, Dominion's not over. For the shills out there that are planting negative, demoralizing seeds, you know who you are. Oh, what happened to Dominion? What happened to Sidney Powell? What happened to the Kraken? These are all multi-battle, multifaceted war campaigns where people are going after this on multiple fronts. The Democrats cannot defend on all fronts. They are crumbling.
He knows the ownership. People say the votes are counted in foreign countries.
The watermarks. What happened to the watermarks? They're real. We're going to cover it in a little bit. Stick around.
And much worse than that, by the way, with Dominion. So, Dominion is also partially based in Canada, but it's based in other countries too. And nobody knows where the votes, but Canada refuses to use Dominion. Canada uses paper ballots. So think of it, they're based in Canada, and Canada refuses to use them. They're smart. They use paper ballots because paper ballots are the only thing, frankly, the only thing that really you're going to get an accurate tab on, because those machines are fixed, they're rigged. You can press Trump and the vote goes to Biden. All you have to do is play with a chip. And it's down, it's shown all the time. All you have to do is play with a chip. And they played with a chip, especially in Wayne County, in Detroit. You take a look. In Philadelphia, you take a look. We've had excellent meetings with senators from Pennsylvania, Republican senators and others. And they're seeing things, they knew it was dishonest, but they didn't know it was this dishonest.
Right now, the shills are in a holding pattern. They're literally in Zoom meetings, in cubicle meetings, all wearing masks in their home, sitting there on Zoom wearing masks, and they're discussing their marching orders. What do we do? Do we keep asking for evidence? You notice how there's no shills in chat right now? You notice that? See, the people are starting to identify these shill armies, these campaigns, these cliches, these buzzwords. We are completely dismissing you people into oblivion. When this is all said and done, you will all be rounded up on treason charges. Trump just made it legal for firing squads and the electric chair again, making it where, no, that's not cruel and unusual punishment. We could do firing squads again. And the shill firing squads lined up across the southern border is going to be glorious.
No, and you'll see it all. You'll see it all. So we'll see. Speaking of Georgia, I'll be going there. I spoke with the two great senators. They're great senators, Kelly and David. I'll probably be going on Saturday. We're looking for a site. We're going to have a tremendous turnout, and we seem to always have a good turnout. The people are very disappointed that we were robbed. We were robbed. I won that by hundreds of thousands of votes. Everybody knows it. You go down the streets, there are Trump-Pence signs all over the place, and we won that by hundreds of thousands, Georgia. So they're disappointed. I don't want them to be disappointed. That'll solve itself. We're finding the votes. Once we get to the signatures, we'll take over 100%. Once we get to signature 100%, we will take over.
The signatures is the presidential battle is the signatures. Dominion is Sidney Powell's battle. Rudy Giuliani is they're all just onslaughting the Democrats. They have no idea what to do, and the walls are closing in on them.
Georgia, and we will get Georgia.
And thanks to the good guys over at the NSA, all IPs addressed have been traced. All shill sock accounts have been traced. All the proper means of tabulating the movements of the enemy are traced. And the executive orders and laws are in place to fully punish the treasonous Chi-Com traitors of America.
But they have to show us the signatures. Stacey Abrams pulled the wool over the Secretary of State. I don't know who he is, but the Secretary of State.
He said he donated to you.
It doesn't matter. I mean, he says that too, but I don't know him. I never met him. I have no idea who he is. All I know is that's the ultimate. I donated to Trump. I respect Trump. I love Trump. I think Trump is great. By the way, we're giving nothing.
Yeah.
This guy got played like I've never seen anybody played. Tell him if he donated to Trump, if he likes Trump, let us see the signatures.
That's this shill's new tactic too. I mean, I like Trump. I mean, the two-party system is completely, but I mean, I'm not saying don't vote for Trump, but why? What's the point of even voting? What's this? What's that? I mean, I'm not obviously a shill.
Why is he not letting us see? There's only one reason you
I've always been pro-Trump. Don't you get it? But now, don't you think Biden deserves a chance?
can't see the signatures. That's because there's fraud all over the place. And even without looking at signatures, as you know, we found thousands of wrong votes. And by the way, always against me. It was not like 50-50. It was always against me. The other thing, take a look at Michigan. Take a look at what they did with respect to counties. Every county, 78%, 72%, 76%, 59%, the whole thing, one after another after another. And then you get to Detroit, and it's like more votes than people. Dead people voting all over the place. But anyway, going back to Georgia just for a second. So I'll be going there on Saturday night, and maybe I'll go twice. It's very important that we win those races. These are two great people. I know them both very well. They're both great people. And I think the two people, you know, I beat the one gentleman. He ran against a congressional candidate who was an excellent person, frankly. And he didn't even live in the right community. And that's how we won. So now I have to beat him again. He lost as a congressman. He was going for Congress, as you remember, and now against Karen. And now he's running against David. He doesn't deserve to be there. He's a lightweight. And the other one is either a communist or a socialist. I can't figure that one out yet. But he's either a communist or a socialist, probably a communist. This is not for Georgia. And I just want to tell my people, don't be disappointed yet, because this race is far from over. But I'm going on Saturday night. I'll be in Georgia. We're going to have a tremendous crowd. They're looking for the right site. Probably we'd love to take one of the big stadiums, but you can't because of the COVID. So we'll have an outdoor form of probably an airport. Most likely it's an airport. They're looking for the biggest space. And we'll have, you know, tens of thousands of people show up. But I think it's very important. And then I may go a second time, depending on how they're doing. I may go a second time.
It's
but
an airport for a specific reason.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Mr. President, if the electoral
It's an airport because right now, more than ever, the Democrat Party, the New World Order, and the Chi-Coms are attempting to attack the president. When they do these events at airports, he can escape very quickly. The security has it all under control. And we're dealing with the enemy of humanity, guys. That's who these people are. That's who the New World Order is. That all traces back to the same controllers. But Trump's part of it. Bellagio, Trump's part of it all. I mean, I just sit here in backseat politic. Trump's part of it. Snap out of it. Throw some cold water on your face and grow up.
College votes for Joe Biden on December 14th, will you concede the election?
It's going to be a very hard thing to concede because we know there was massive fraud. So as to whether or not I can get this apparatus moving this quickly, because time isn't on our side. Everything else is on our side. Facts are on our side. This was a massive fraud. This should never take place in this country. We're like a third world country. We have machines that nobody knows what the hell they're looking at. I mean, you take a look at all the mistakes they made. Look at even Georgia. Look at all the mistakes they made, and all that was is a simple you press a button. Look at Georgia. All the votes they found just by going. And I said they shouldn't even do it. because it doesn't mean anything. They're doing a recount right now in Georgia that is meaningless. The only recount that matters in Georgia is to look at the signatures on the envelope, and you will find that those signatures do not match the people that were many of them, hundreds of thousands of them, hundreds of thousands, and I only lost by 12,000 votes. I didn't lose. I didn't even like to say I lose. I only, I guess we're 11 or 12,000 votes short. That's out of millions and millions of votes. They just got it over the line. And one of the things that happened, I did so well, and I was told this in 2 other states, that they didn't know what to do. They panicked. Take a look at their drops at 3 o'clock and 3:42 in the morning on certain states. They did drops where you're going along like this, and then you have a spike that goes up to the ceiling and down. It's disgraceful. We can't let that happen. And I will tell you, in Philadelphia, the Republicans, that State House Republicans, are very, very upset. And it's sort of appropriate because Philadelphia has become very activist. If you look at what's going on, they don't want that to happen to Pennsylvania, to the state of Pennsylvania. And it was, I don't even like to use, it was a rigged election.
But sir, just to be clear, if the Electoral College votes for Joe Biden, will you concede?
Well, if they do, they made a mistake because this election was a fraud. Just so you understand, this election was a fraud. I mean, they have Biden beating Obama.
He never said he would concede.
In areas that mattered in terms of the election, in swing states. And yet he's losing to Obama all over the place. But he's beating Obama in swing states, which are the states that mattered for purposes of the election. So, no, I can't say that at all. I think it's a possibility. They're trying to, look, between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to, I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. All right, I'm going to.
You see that? You see that? This is the media needs to be fired and gutted, and everyone that has ever worked for it blacklisted, never to be working in society again. And Trump just told one of these slugs, one of these worms, you do not speak to the president of the United States like this.
I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
So if
No, I can't say
Let's hear it
that at
again.
all. I think it's a possibility. They're trying to, look, between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to, I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. All right, I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
So if the Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden, are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you, certainly I will. Certainly I will. And you know that. But I think that there will be a lot of things happening between now and the 20th of January. A lot
of things happening.
Massive fraud has been found. We're like a third world country. We're using computer equipment that can be hacked. They talk about glitches. How many glitches did they find? So a glitch, oh gee, we had a glitch, 5,000 votes. In all cases, right? In all cases, the votes went from Trump to Biden. They didn't go from Biden. The glitches were never from Biden to Trump. So they had many glitches. And they said, oh, we had a glitch. A glitch is like the equipment is a little broken, we'll fix it up. No, a glitch is, in this case, we caught them cheating. We caught them stealing. We caught a fraudulent effort to get votes. And they said, oh, yes, it's true, there was, and there were many of them. But here's the problem. There were probably 10, 20, 30 times that didn't get caught. We just got lucky and caught numerous of them. But what that is very simple. If you look at
Again, pay attention very carefully. Here is a message to all the anons out there that don't quite get it, or you are just paid and hired shills. Here is the synopsis. If you're out there and you're scratching your head and you're trying to Fed post to your little chats out there and you're saying, how come Trump hasn't arrested Hillary yet? How come he hasn't taken over yet? How come he hasn't done anything he's promised? John Podesta's still walking free. The media has programmed the average person, your aunts and uncles, your normie friends, to believe that Donald Trump is the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. If you had your way, whether you're just ignorant, innocent, or a shill, you would truly get what the New World Order wants, which is a global community of China, of Davos, of NATO, all coming against Donald Trump's administration, liberating the American people. You would have liberals out in the streets cheering and like, oh, Donald Trump is Hitler. Thank you, UN. Come save us. What Trump is doing is calculated. It really is four-dimensional chess. And you guys been cliched, it's hopium, it's copium, it's all shill, Hollywood edited, cliche, scripted garbage. Learn to identify their buzzwords. All they are is schoolyard, petulant, feckless children. They have no idea what they're doing. These are the shills out there. Oh, don't vote, the Rothschilds, they control everything. These guys are so, just like Trump told this guy, what did Trump tell him? You're low level.
Look at the glitch.
I love it. Let's go do it one more time.
We caught them stealing. A glitch from Biden, a glitch that can be, and you know that. They're trying to look. Between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me.
You're
that
just
way.
a lightweight. So this is the saving of America. This is the return story, the vengeance story against the New World Order. This is massive. This is way bigger than your little personal vendettas you have. This is way bigger than anything you can comprehend. So when you're like, Trump's part of it all, I'm depressed, you either are an enemy or you truly are a lightweight. And at this point, we need heavyweight information. And that's what CHN and CHN Squad brings. Heavyweight information.
I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president. A glitch is like the equipment is a little broken. We'll fix it up. No, a glitch is, in this case, we caught them cheating. We caught them stealing. We caught a fraudulent effort to get votes. And they said, oh, yes, it's true, there was, and there were many of them. But here's the problem. There were probably 10, 20, 30 times that didn't get caught. We just got lucky and caught numerous of them. But what that is very simple. If you look at the glitch means, right? It means, oh, we got caught.
You have to get rid of all the cliches now. If you're sitting there and you're like, this doesn't matter. It's all controlled. Trump's part of it. Trump's part of the entire system. He took a Rothschild loan. Guys, update your information. Update your firmware. This is the only guy, the only president that cares about this country, America. Oh, but Bellagio, Trump owns houses. He owns houses around the world. Oh, Trump, I hate Trump. Oh, I never hated him when he was on The Apprentice. But ever since he became president, oh, he's the enemy. We got caught with the votes. And now, let's just call it a glitch. It wasn't the machinery. And by the way, the machinery, if you look, just take a look anywhere on the internet, you will see many, many people where they're experimenting with this stupid machinery, where if you set it a certain way, the votes go from Trump to Biden. If you look at these counties, if you look at Arizona, where I was going to win very easily, I've had the biggest politicians in Arizona say there was no way you lost Arizona. There's no way I lost Pennsylvania with his anti-fuel and with his anti-fracking and all of the things that they stand against. There was no way. Now, Texas, you all said that I was going to lose Texas by a lot, 4 points. I won Texas by 8 or 9 points, right? I won it very easily. In Wisconsin, you all said I was going to lose, or the polls said. Everything the media has ever told you has been 100% dog-face, bold lie to support their New World Order paychecks, to support them selling out. Remember election night, the blue Texas? Blue Texas, the Democrats were memeing about. Oh, Texas is going to flip blue. At certain polls. That never happened. ABC. So I was going to lose by 17 points. Think of how dishonest.
I thought I was going to win it, and essentially I did win it. It's very, very close. It's very, very close. So we're going to win because they found, by the way, in Wisconsin, they have found massive discrepancy. Just so you understand, massive discrepancy. But they said I was going to lose by 17 points, and I won the state, okay? But it's very close. It shows very close. Whether you say win or lose, it shows very close. But when you look at the massive discrepancy that we'll be revealing, that's already been revealed. Everybody knows it. They just don't want to play it. Between big tech and the fake news media, you just put out like this little railroad trade. Now, I think it's not right that he's trying to pick a cabinet, but I can't imagine whether it's courts or legislatures, if you're going to catch hundreds of thousands of false ballots, and I'm talking in each state. And just so you understand, many, many more votes that we're talking about that we need. You understand? I'm not saying we caught 23 dead people, but we were short 20,000 votes. No, no. We have tens of thousands votes more than we need in all cases, okay? In all cases. So I think you're going to see something. I mean, I think it's going to be a very big story. Yeah, please.
Yes, Mr. President.
It's going to be not only a big story, it's the most important story of our time. Yes.
Yes, Mr. President. If Joe Biden takes over the White House.
And you have to understand this is like the worst case scenario for the shills, because they operate on MK Ultra brainwashing techniques. And this is like a fragmenting, a shattering. So they don't care that they're going to be locked up. They don't care that they're going to get the death sentence legally in military tribunals. They don't care. They really don't. They are pure evil. They can't wait to go to hell. What they do care about is their master, quote unquote, in 3 parentheses, plan is going to fail, which is in the event that well, not in the event, when it happens that Donald Trump wins and it comes out that there was massive voter fraud and the media was completely wrong, a lot of Americans it's going to be their red pill moment. They're going to wake up, but, you know, and the polarization is going to widen. There's going to be a lot of liberals that don't accept it. That's when they go out and protest, all that stuff. That's when the big arrests happen, when the, you know, National Guard really gets called in on a national emergency level. Everything that we've been memeing and talking about. The media will fail their brainwashing campaign because everything that they've said is going to be reversed, is going to turn around. Biden's not the president-elect. He actually was a cheater. They're going to blame districts. They're going to blame localities. They're going to try to, you know, remove Biden from the scandal, but it's going to be linked to him. It's going to be massive.
On January 21st, will you announce a candidacy for 2024?
Well, no, I don't want to talk about 2024 yet.
Will you
because this is far
if and when
from being.
look.
I and the people that work in this are very professional, and all of this stuff is coming. A lot of it came out. If you look at the Philadelphia meeting, if you look at the Pennsylvania meeting yesterday, a lot of it came out. This has a long way to go. This has a long way to go. You're going to find tremendous fraud. You're going to find fraud of hundreds of thousands of votes per state. You're going to find fraud of many, many times the votes that I need. Again, we're not talking about less votes where, you know, 20 votes, but it doesn't turn the election. No, we're talking about thousands and thousands of votes beyond what we need to turn a state. When you see that, I think it's very hard, even for the media, to say that, you know, Biden should win the state. And there's no way that Biden got 80 million votes. By the way, the only way he got 80 million votes is through a massive fraud. There's no way that he got 80 million votes.
Can you give us a timeline on when you're going to present this evidence of voter fraud you talked about?
Well, it's happening now. I mean, we're in courts. We're in courts, but we're also in front of legislatures, and we're doing very well in front of the states.
Why not present it now?
Mr. President, if you don't think that the presidential election was legitimate, and if you think that it was stolen, what confidence do you expect voters in Georgia to have when they go to the polls to vote for, say, Loeffler or Perdue?
Well, I told them today, I think you're dealing in a very fraudulent system. I think I'm very worried about that. They are tremendous people. Kelly Loeffler, David Perdue are tremendous people. They should be in the United States Senate. They're desperately needed. But I told them today, I said, listen, you have a fraudulent system. You have a system where the flick of a switch or the putting in of a new chip can change the course of history. And you have to be very careful. I read this morning where Stacey Abrams has 850,000 ballots accumulated. Now that's called harvesting. You're not allowed to harvest, but I understand the Secretary of State, who is really, he's an enemy of the people. The Secretary of State, and whether he's Republican or not, this man, what he's done, supposedly he made a deal, and you'll have to check this, where she's allowed to harvest, but in other areas they're not allowed. What kind of a deal is that? They're not allowed to harvest during the presidential. But how can she say she has 850,000 ballots? That would mean that she's got 850,000 ballots for her. That's not supposed to be happening. That's not an election. You know, an election should be a one-day
treason.
deal. You walk in and you vote. And if you can't do it, if for some reason you're not feeling well or there's a problem, but what they did is they used COVID in order to defraud the people of this country. And the whole world is watching.
Did you hear that? They used COVID to defraud the people of this country. And the shills out there that checked out, voting doesn't matter, Trump is the enemy, let Biden win. We see right through them. And what I was saying before, let me add to it, when the media's brainwashing campaign shatters, all their enemies, all their agents are exposed, our enemies. All your, like, quote unquote, internet friends who you've never met before on Telegram that are telling you that Donald Blumph is bad. Now you're going to see who the real shills are. All the people that tried to divert you away and vote for, like Richard Spencer, great example. He voted for Biden. Now all of them are going to be exposed way out in the open. And it's going to be a massive shift. YouTube is already planning on the shift, dumping mass, big e-celebs, huge names being dumped and demonetized. And on top of it, the ads still play and YouTube makes the money. The ultimate cucking of YouTube and their creators. It's quite fantastic.
And the whole world is laughing at our electoral process. The whole world is watching. And it's a very sad thing, very sad thing. And you know what? I've done a lot of things. You just saw Space Force, and you've seen the tax cuts and the regulation cuts and the way we've taken care of the vets and what we've done with Anwar and Alaska and all the different things we've done, more than just about anybody's done, and even though it's 4 years. There are those that say what I'm doing right now is the single most important thing I've ever done. And I think it may be true. It may be true. The vaccines, and by the way, don't let Joe Biden take credit for the vaccines. If Joe Biden, you know, Joe Biden failed with the swine flu, H1N1, totally failed with the swine flu. Don't let him take credit for the vaccines, because the vaccines were me, and I pushed people harder than they've ever been pushed.
Yeah, Gary Americano, that's a script. And that script, after Trump wins, will never work again. Never. Don't get caught up in the left-right paradigm. Oh, it's all the same. Donald Trump's a lifelong politician. He's a lifelong neocon. Donald Trump's one of these people.
Before, and we got that approved and through, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. And you got a big resistance in the FDA from years and years of people working there for years and years, different administrations. But the vaccines are, there are those that say it's one of the greatest things. It's a medical miracle. Don't let anyone try and take credit for it. But with all of the things I've done, this could be the most important, because there's been voter fraud going on, but never at this scale. Tens of millions of ballots have been sent out to people that didn't even want them. Many people, and I know you've heard, many people have received 2, 3, and 4 ballots. And many people have taken those 2, 3, and 4 ballots and they voted them. This election was a fraud. It was a rigged election. I mean, I hate to say it, but this was a rigged, at the highest level, it was a rigged election. So we have to figure it out. And yes, I think it's very dangerous for the 2 people that are running against 2 totally unqualified people. And I think it's very dangerous for our nation. And I'll go a step further. I said today, other than the fact that you have all of the eyes and ears, but the media doesn't cover it properly, because the media would, if they saw something wrong, I'm convinced the media would not report it, because, you know, you have many things that you know are wrong and you don't report. But if the media was honest in this country, which, you know, for the most part they're not, this would never have happened. This has taken place, this fraud has taken place. If the media were honest, this would never, ever have happened. But you have a big election coming up. You have a woman or somebody announced 850,000 absentee ballots have already been collected. 850. And I told David Perdue today, and I told Kelly yesterday, I said, they're talking about having collected already 800,000 ballots against you. You can't do that. You can't do that. What kind of a race is that? You can't allow that to happen. And I'm serious, if the media were honest, and if big tech were honest, which it's totally not, it's a terrible thing. That whole Section 230 is a disgrace that they even have it. But big tech is totally dishonest. If the media were honest and big tech was fair, this wouldn't even be a contest. And I would have won by a tremendous amount, And I did win by a tremendous amount, but it hasn't been reported yet. But people understand what's happened. They know what happened. Yes, please,
You
go
know,
ahead.
of course, it is tradition.
Say it.
You know that it's tradition for previous presidents to go to the next president's inauguration. So will you attend?
I don't want to say that yet.
But he
I mean, I know the answer. I'll be honest, I know the answer, but I just don't want to say it yet. Look, a thing like this possibly has never happened before, but maybe people just didn't catch it. But we've caught it.
But why
We've
don't
caught,
your attorneys-
we've caught hundreds of thousands of votes.
If I may,
Listen,
Mr.
excuse me.
If I may.
When they don't allow a poll watcher, which is
Excuse me, you little lightweight. Excuse me, lightweight. Shut up back there and let the president speak. Okay? Simmer down back there.
a sacred person in our country. People don't know what a poll watcher is. A poll watcher it's considered sacred in our country. When they throw them out of
But
rooms,
that's not true. They didn't do that.
sure it is.
Your
And when they put them in pens,
Your attorneys admitted
excuse
they
me,
weren't.
no, they didn't. My attorneys did not admit anything. And it's all different places. But where they throw them out of counting rooms, where they put them in what's called pens, and they're 20, 30, 40 feet away, and in some cases 200 feet away. When things like that happen, when a woman walks in on November 3rd to vote, a proud woman, and this is by the thousands, tens of thousands, and she said, "I'm here to vote." And they said, "You've already voted, ma'am, I'm sorry." "No, I didn't vote. I wanted to vote on November 3rd. I want to cast my vote in person." "I'm sorry, ma'am, you've already voted. You voted by ballot." And then they leave. This is a horrible thing, and we have tens of thousands of that happening. This is a horrible thing. They gave Biden a lot of votes that he would never have gotten. This is not a candidate that could get 80 million votes. This is just not a candidate. This is not a candidate that beat Barack Hussein Obama with the black voter, okay? This is not a candidate that beat Obama with the black voter. This is not a candidate that beat Hillary Clinton to a pulp. It just doesn't work that way. But when you look at the number, when you look at the data, and when you look at the things we have affidavits from hundreds and hundreds of people. This election was a rigged election. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, we were just watching President.
So, guys, we heard it there first. That was yesterday while we were all eating turkey and celebrating. Let's do a quick timeline of events, and then I'm going to be getting going in like 10 minutes. Election fraud, and the Dems got caught. They used too dumb of people to complain about election fraud. It goes terribly wrong. Biden playing pretend president, media, big tech, and cabal, all committing sedition, treason out in the open. Normies are waking up. Lowest viewership of all time for all forms of media, including, all this stuff, guys. We don't want to say that. Hollywood, basically the lowest viewership of all time. Joe Biden is supposedly picking his cabinet. There's only 3,000 people watching. And a low viewed gamer on Twitch gets more viewers than that. It's like people are just tuning out. The only people that believe Biden won is the media, Hollywood, and the brainwashed liberal masses. Hollywood is in a death spiral with major cancellations and bankruptcy inbound. Powell drops major Kraken, replacing people in Department of Defense, huge. Trump fired Kissinger. He fired a bunch of people. Several high-profile members of the Defense Policy Board were removed, fired. Every lie will be revealed. They're going to be shocked at levels of the pedo cabal, satanic worship. Lynn Wood says this. Lawyer Lynn Wood. He's not just talking out of his ass. Big week ahead. Pardoning of Flynn. The media's going crazy. CIA head Gina to be fired and replaced. She was horrible. Ray to be fired and replaced. Trump arrives at Camp David. Camp David closed press tomorrow. Don't talk to me that way. Don't ever talk to the president that way. President Trump slams down the media hack. Calls him a lightweight. POTUS, you're going to see things happen over the next week or two that are going to be shocking to people. Storm is coming. Saturn and Jupiter also doing some meme stuff for the first time 800 years in the elite deep state. Trans cabal love their Saturn and Jupiter astrology. It's happening. That's a quick rundown of events. We're going to post this timeline on all 3 channels that are live right now so you guys can view yourself. And then let's read the critical shill warning again. We read this earlier. First, I want to give a thanks to, we have 2 new Patreons that are helping out tremendously. We had Crusader Sand last week, $25 Patreon, massive. This week, we have a new $12 Patreon by Dweez Droid Brisbois. He's in the chat from time to time. Very good guy, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for helping support the channel. Let's read the shill warning again. Biden's legal team basically is all caught up with Trump's legal team. Now their new strategy is to tell all their shills, their shill armies, to keep asking for evidence of election fraud. They want your evidence. They want to know, oh, well, what's your proof? What's your source? Don't give it to them. Hold the lines. Their plan is to play dumb and keep asking for more evidence. If you have somebody in your Discord, in your Twitter group, in your Telegram that is doing this, playing dumb and asking for evidence, you know, I don't want to be a false hope. I don't want to be on the copium train. Just give me some more evidence, guy. Come on, give me the evidence. Ignore them. Boot them out of your group. Get rid of them. This is all-out historic warfare right now. This isn't time to be buddy-buddy. That's afterwards, when we conquer. This is the 300 moment right now, though, where the shills are lining up and just being taken out one by one. Another affidavit, people testifying, eyewitnesses testifying about the watermarked ballots. It's all coming out in the open, and all will be revealed absolutely. The American people are ready for this in this manner, learning about the voter fraud first and foremost, and then everything else on the back end. You know, then we can explain to them the cabal, the RICO level of collusion, you know, how they sold out to the Chinese communists, and even more. Okay, even more. Let's read a little bit of your chats before we get going. We were on, and please give a thumb up if you like this, give a thumb down if you didn't. It helps YouTube send this video out. That's the least you guys could do. Help thumb up, help share this video on social media. Save the link right now up above and you could share it. Otherwise, YouTube puts us on the back burner illegally and they won't process my video for over 24 hours. That's why the uploads take a little bit for you to find. YouTube is a complete and utter disaster behind the scenes. There's literally suicide nets around the YouTube building right now. Put it that way, metaphorical suicide nets. It's horrible. Call the hotline. Susan, call the hotline. We love you, Susan. You're just ruining the company, ruining everyone's lives on top of it. But we love you, Susan. We love you. Other than that, guys, it is not over yet. Don't feel defeated. Joe Biden will never be president of this nation. You heard Trump say the electors are going to be wrong if they do it. He's not leaving. He told the one person that asked if he would leave January 24th, he said, of course I would. And then he said, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens between now and then. May someone make a meme of that. with Trump looking smug saying, of course I'll leave January 21st. But there's going to be a lot of stuff happening between now and then. To put it lightly. Let's cue up some music. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I am going to be eating some more turkey. I might come back tonight for a video game stream. Possibly a video game stream tonight. Or maybe even the Terry Davis movie night. If that's the case, I will announce it on the main channel with a post. I did a post yesterday, but I never went live on DLive or Twitch. But we got to keep you guys on your toes. Can't get comfortable, can't get complacent. You cannot be politically comfy at the moment. Well, I read 10 years ago the Rothschilds run stuff. Listen, that's lightweight information. We are on the apex of a cultural revolution in America. They want to do a purple revolution. And either you're helping them or you're helping America be restored. There is no fence sitting anymore. There is no, I'm not going to vote because voting doesn't matter. Stop fence sitting. Your ass must hurt up there with the fence wedged up it. Pick a side. You want Biden to rule over you? You want COVID lockdowns for the next 100 years? You want your society shut down? Or do you want to elect a guy that loves this country? But Blumph, Comedy Central, Owen Benjamin, they all told me. Gravy. Wake the hell up. Snap out of it. Snap out of it, Anon. And my final point about Trump pushing the vaccine is he's not pushing the vaccine on every American like Joe Biden will do. Differentiate the shill arguments. Dissect their arguments. And I'm not nobody. There was not one shill in our chat today. So don't think anyone I'm talking to in here. Can you believe this? Where are all the shills, guys? Remember last episode? How many there were, all the anime faces? They're gone because they're getting new marching orders. They don't understand. They're lightweights. I'm not Brian from High Impact Flicks, okay? I won't be bought and paid. I won't be silenced. I won't be intimidated. You don't scare me. Donald Trump is our guy. It's that simple. The memes dictate it. The media dictates it when they expose themselves to their pure hatred. Hollywood dictates it. You want me to align myself with Madonna because you're some type of a non-intellectual and you can't get your head out of your ass? Well, the two-party system, I heard this 15 years ago. The two-party system, yeah, it's old information. The Bush, Clinton, Obama is the two-party system. Trump injected himself in there with the 2016 meme energy. Were you just a coat rider? Or did you help elect Donald Trump? Well, now stick to your duty. Stop listening to the shills. Stick to your guns. He is our guy. Styx Hexenhammer, as much as of a Satanist idiot, he's just a low-level, Satanist observer. He's not sacrificing people, put it that way. But even him, as broken as he is, he still understands that Donald Trump is the guy. There's no Biden's not even in the calculation. But there's anons out there in your communities that pretend that Biden would be better than Donald Trump. Richard Spencer's one of them. Remove them from your friends lists. Remove them from your subscription counts. Get these people away from you. They're just polluting your mind with demoralization. And that is the end of the show. Thank you very much for watching. This was a great hangout session. Very comfy. This felt like a Twitch only show. There was not one shill in the chat. There's never shills in DLive or Twitch, believe it or not. I can read. Thank you guys, CO Dave. Thank you over there. Bunch of people watching on Twitch, on D Live. Very awesome. I love it. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching.